Hey guys, happy Friday morning. I hope all is well in your world. It is all well here at Enough Said Sports. We had a wonderful evening last night. We were able to hit the NBA parlay of the day on yesterday, June the 17th. The Milwaukee game worked out exactly the way that we had predicted it. We put out a cheese alert, guys, on this one. And if you don't know what a cheese alert is, please go down to my other video that has the mouse with the cheese on it, and listen to it and learn about the cheese alert, so that when you see these things for yourself, you're able to play them accordingly. We also hit a Wounded Tiger Theory alert the day before that on the Clippers game. That one also hit really hard, so go check both of those videos out so that you have an opportunity to again learn. And when you see these certain patterns that Vegas puts out, or you see certain things, you're able to then pounce on them and capitalize and get paid. So make sure you're checking those things out. Also, guys, follow us on Twitter. We started a Twitter account about a week ago now, I guess, a little over a week ago. And keep in mind, guys, sometimes the notifications on YouTube are a little late in the way that they show. Sometimes it's days later before they actually notify you that there's a video there. So if you follow us on Twitter, I'm going to leave the Twitter handle in the comments. Follow us on Twitter, then you'll never miss an alert, because every time there's an alert, I also put it out on Twitter so that you have the opportunity to see that video. I know some of you unfortunately missed out on the Wounded Tiger Theory and the cheese alert, and you guys weren't able to capitalize because you didn't simply know it was there. So just follow us on Twitter so that you can do that. Now, moving forward, talking about this contest, this is going to end up being a preview and prediction video for the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Brooklyn Nets game. That game is going to be coming on tomorrow, Saturday, June the 19th. It's going to be at 8:35 Eastern Standard Time is when the tip-off is scheduled there. And it's going to be a pick'em. This looks like a one-point spread type of a game here. And the over-under is all the way down to 215 in this contest, 215.5 right now. Now, just to rewind and talk to you about what happened last night. We were able to correctly predict last night's game. I was on the Bucks to begin with last night, because I felt like they would bounce back after collapsing against the Brooklyn Nets the game before. And then when Vegas kept on extending the spread and extending the spread and extending the spread in favor of the Milwaukee Bucks, that raised my antennas. And I jumped on the Bucks even harder at that point. And again, if you guys get an opportunity to check out that video so that you can, I go into great detail about how all that works as far as the cheese alert. But when they expanded it out, I knew then for sure that the Bucks would cover. So jumped on board with them. They were able to effectively, impose their will on the Brooklyn Nets. They didn't necessarily shoot the ball particularly well. Neither team really did. The Bucks shot it a little bit better, I would say, than the Brooklyn Nets were able to. But the biggest factor with the Nets is two things. One, Kevin Durant, like I've told you before, and like I went on my rant prior to Game 5, I don't trust the guy. I do not trust him in these types of situations. He's only been able to flourish and thrive with the Golden State Warriors in these types of situations because he's had Steph and Clay by his side. And that's not to cast any aspersions on Kevin Durant, but the fact of the matter is that he hasn't, in my opinion, proven in a situation like this where he's really the main star in the galaxy that he can get the job done. I know people will argue with me and say that KD was the main star in the galaxy for the Golden State Warriors, but I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really buy that. That's not something I subscribe to. I say if he was the main star in the galaxy, then why in the world were they trapping Steph Curry at half court with him on the floor and leaving him wide open for threes? So I think the defenses that the other teams played against the Golden State Warriors when he was there will dictate and determine who the main star in the galaxy is, and that was always Steph Curry. And it was never Kevin Durant. Not saying, again, not taking anything away from Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is an unbelievable talent. The man's a scoring machine. He's efficient. He's a really, really, really outstanding player. He's just not that guy in that moment. He's a really, really awesome, best complimentary star maybe ever. But when he's the main star in the galaxy, he can't get the job done. He showed you that in OKC over and over and over again. They got to one finals and ended up getting beaten 5 games with Russell Westbrook and James Harden by his side when he was the main guy. And that's the only finals appearance he had. All the other times he came up short. So, you know, we're back in that situation again because Kyrie is out. I think Kyrie is going to remain out. I think Kyrie is not going to play in Game 7. James Harden, if y'all can't tell, is not himself. That was another concern for me going into, you know, last night's game, is I felt that James Harden was not James Harden, and he's not. I mean, that hamstring still isn't right. He's doing the best he can. I have so mad respect for James Harden. Got to put a little respect on his name because he's going out there and he's gutting it out, man. He's a warrior right now for gutting it out and going out there and risking himself because that thing is not right. And he has still been able to play fairly well. I mean, I'm really, really impressed with the way that he's been able to play considering his hamstring. I mean, really. So he deserves a ton of credit. KD is just not, you know, other than that 49-point outburst he had the other night, he hadn't been there, and he didn't really play that great last night in my opinion. Very inefficient last night. Missed a ton of shots that he probably should make, that he normally makes, and the Bucks capitalized. I thought Giannis played really well. I thought Chris Middleton was the difference in this game. His timely three-point shooting. Drew Holiday did not play well at all. I think he went like 1 for 8 or 1 for 9 from downtown, something along those lines. He played pretty bad, pretty poorly on the perimeter shooting the ball. I didn't think Brook Lopez had that great of a game either. PJ Tucker, who's generally automatic from the corner, played pretty horribly. So the game was kind of sloppy and ugly, but the Milwaukee Bucks were able to prevail and prevail in a big way there as they covered and beat the Brooklyn Nets. Now, with all that being said, guys, Game 7 is going to be a completely different animal. All right, it is Game 7. I do expect both of these teams, they will shoot better. They've shot terribly this entire series. Both of these teams are going to shoot better in this next game. This next game will not be a blowout on either front. It is going to be very, very close. It's going to come down to the end. It may be a 1 or 2 possession game there at the end. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm rolling with the Milwaukee Bucks. I thought about this. I looked at this very carefully after last night's game. Slept on it. Woke up this morning. It's going to be the Milwaukee Bucks that are going to prevail in Game 7. And I'm going to tell you why. 1, PJ Tucker's going to play a lot better from the corner. He's going to make some threes. Brook Lopez is going to play a lot better. He's going to make some threes. And Drew Holiday is either going to stop taking them or he's going to make some threes. They're going to play better than they played last night. I think they were a little tight. I think they were a little in their own heads because Brooklyn, they had a huge lead on Brooklyn and it came back the night before or the game before. And I think that really affected the way the Milwaukee Bucks played last night. In general, I thought they were a little anxious being there at home. I think the pressure is squarely on the Brooklyn Nets' shoulders going into Game 7 because of, obviously the big three, despite the fact that the big three is really banged up. The really only healthy one of the big three is Kevin Durant, and that's really unfortunate because I'd love to see what would happen, with the healthy Brooklyn Nets team, but they're just not right, and James Harden isn't right. Now, with all that being said, I expect a much better effort from James Harden. I expect a much better effort from Kevin Durant. I think the role players are going to play better. I think Joe Harris is going to shoot the ball better. And unfortunately, he's just not been playing well these past few games. He is flat out choking in the moment. And but I do think he'll step up. I think Blake Griffin's going to play better. Jeff Green's going to play better. I think all your role players for the Brooklyn Nets are going to come out and play better. And I think it's going to be a dogfight of a game all the way through this contest. But at the end of the day, guys, I don't trust Kevin Durant. I do not trust him in this situation. I've seen it too many times. The only time I've seen the man come through clutch is when he had Steph Curry and Klay Thompson on his team. And let's just face it, they really weren't in very many clutch moments because people just didn't beat them very much. So, I mean, in most cases, you were looking at Game 5. I mean, it's easy to be clutch when you got Klay and Steph on the floor with you, especially Steph, because they're sitting there trapping him at half court and everything that they do, as you guys well know. So, yeah, I don't trust Kevin Durant in this spot. And again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to him or his fans or anything like that. But here at Enough Said Sports, we tell the truth as we see it, and we don't stray from it. And I'm just telling you, I don't trust them. So I'm going Milwaukee -1 in this game, or excuse me, +1, because they're actually a 1-point underdog. It's a pick 'em either way you look at it. So I'll take Milwaukee to win, and I'm actually going to go over 215.5 because I think these guys are going to shoot the ball a lot better. So I expect this game to go over 215.5 and Milwaukee to win. So guys, as always, let me know in the comments what you think. It's an absolute pleasure to interact with you guys. Thank you so much for all your support and all your kind words and all the comments and stuff. I read every one of them and try to do my best to respond to as many of them as I possibly can, if not all of them. So I really, really, really appreciate all the support you guys are giving, all the subscriptions. Make sure you check us out on Twitter, please. I'm going to leave that in the description so you guys don't miss any alerts and get an opportunity to take advantage of some of these bets that come up and that we're cashing in on. So feels really good. We're definitely rolling, and we're going to try to keep that momentum going tonight. I've already done preview videos for both games that are coming on tonight, the Sixers-Hawks and the Clippers-Jazz game. Later on, so definitely check those out, and I will be dropping the NBA parlay of the day momentarily. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. The weekend is here, and we're ready to cash in again. So talk to you soon.